A cold and reserved young man who wields a spear known as Cloud Piercer. He acts as the Express's guard on its long trailblazing expedition. Dan Heng never talks much about his past. In fact, he joined the Express crew to escape from a past of his own making. But can the Express really help him outrun his past? A new dawn begins. It's just another extremely average day aboard this giant ship. The markets have just opened and the morning dew is still fresh, but the young man crossing the street has never seen such a sight. Before he manages to notice all the differences between the actual city and its descriptions in books, he is immersed in savoring the warmth of the sun on the back of his neck. It's his first time seeing his own body clearly. This body belongs to him. It belongs to this current name. When he arrives at the port, the escorting soldier removes the last of his shackles. He walks forward without looking back. He can feel, ever so faintly, several pairs of eyes gazing at him from within the city, eyes filled with hatred. It isn't until the spaceship takes off that he turns his head and takes one final look at this place. It really is a magnificent and grand spaceship, just like the books say. He only glances at it once, then turns his head away to where the stars shimmer dimly and an uncertain future lies. He looks out in silence. A new dawn begins. He steps off one IPC spaceship, then boards another. He'd never even heard of the ship's destination, but that doesn't matter. There's nowhere he particularly wanted to go. His only goal is to get as far away as possible from his past, from his home. On these spaceships, people come and go all the time. None of the IPC crews care who he is, so long as he can work. He has changed his appearance and might no longer be recognized, but he knows that same power still lurks within him, unable to be shaken off no matter where he goes. This power drags him down, slows him, tries to overwhelm him, and makes him unable to escape his past. He has to be careful, but he still can't shake off the man with the beastly eyes. If others in his homeworld felt hatred toward him, then that man only has a killing intent toward him. Even the spaceships he had traveled on were all annihilated. That man had died before him, but would reappear soon after. Outside his homeworld, there's a larger world where anything is possible. A new dawn begins. He boards another spaceship, and the passengers are all wearing different masks. He nearly has his memories stolen and is forced to listen to a lecture that sounded like mad ramblings. He knows that huge monsters prowl upon this route, but he could only find a way towards survival by traveling along the most dangerous of roads. He defeats the huge monsters and disembarks at the next port. He thinks he could remain undetected among the countless ships, but he is stopped by a red-haired woman. She salutes him in thanks, saying she is with one of the ships he had rescued. He is about to turn and leave when he sees a parked train beside the red-haired woman.
Where's your next stop?
Haven't decided yet.
Then would you like to board our express? We're retracing our previous journey. There's so much to see all over again. We need a guard and an archiver. You can get off any time once you made up your mind on where to go.
All right. A new dawn begins. He rubs his eyes, realizing it had been too long since he had such a good night's sleep. He considers himself as only staying temporarily and refused the room specially prepared for him, making a simple bed on the floor of the archives. However, he stayed up all night reading the databank. At some point, he drifted off to sleep. He opened the door to find the conductor standing there, reprimanding him for staying up late. Otherwise, he'd miss out on a piping hot breakfast and would have wasted the care put into it. He nods and the conductor quiets down in satisfaction, wobbling as they lead him into the passenger car. The red-haired woman, who he now knows is named Himiko, flashes him a smile. The brunette man to the other side, Mr. Yang, remains silent despite appearing to have many questions on his mind. Before he knew it, he'd spent many a morning just like this. The process of revisiting the route is not easy, mostly due to the numerous roadblocks caused by Stellaron. Sometimes, they would encounter the huge monsters he'd defeated before. They even found an enormous chunk of floating ice, encased in which was a living girl. That's why he wasn't very surprised when he detected that the person named Trailblazer has an actual Stellaron sealed inside their body. The Express's journey will continue on. Is there anything beyond the realm of possibility?
Shouldn't we get off? It's our stop.
A chuckle came from above. His eyes moved, but he didn't look up.
To be clear, March always says you're expressionless, but I don't agree. The train's databank showed traces of an update, but the results weren't saved. So, which entry were you having trouble with?
He grasped his pen tighter as he looked at the bloody scene drawn in his notebook from memory.
I see. It was the one about you.
This isn't the first time he's seen this man. This man had become his own inseparable shadow. No matter how many times he runs this man through with his spear, the man always comes back. He can neither lose to this man nor truly win. Though he wants to run away, there is nowhere to run.